Sometimes I find myself getting bitten by a bug that I don't know where it really comes from. In this case, I've been looking through video art for the last few months, as you can tell from the last few videos I've been uploading if you've been following those. And as always, this one's going to be another one on the Bally Arcade, also known as the Astrocade. In this case, I was going through the Bob Fabris collection that's on my hard drive, soon to be uploaded to the internet, I hope, one of these days. And I came across a 20-page paper called Zone Plates 1 through 9, Making Pictures with Mathematics, Boolean Arithmetic by Peter Bard Olsen, which was written in September 18th, 1983. And in this paper, Peter goes on to talk about how he was inspired by something written for the Bally Arcade. And he says, the second way he was inspired was from an article in the notes of one of the courses given at the ZGrass in 1983 called The Pix-Art by Frank Dietrich and Zsuzsanna Molnar of the Electronic Visualization Laboratory of the University of Illinois at the Chicago Circle, which contains a program written by Dan Sandin for the Bally Arcade home video game, a low-cost color computer unit which is being used by art classes at the University of Illinois and the Art Institute of Chicago. And if you haven't been aware before, the arcade, and by that I mean the Bally Arcade, was used at the university in Chicago to teach some classes, and students were able to purchase them and use them for their home computer. The systems at the time cost, when they first started doing this, I think it was in '79, if I remember reading an article in the Arcadian correctly. And I think they did it up through 82, 83, something like that. Peter Olsen goes on to say, the Bally Arcade is a low-resolution raster display, 160 pixels horizontal by 88 vertical, and that's correct to some extent. The actual resolution of the Astrocade is 160 by 102, but in BASIC you only get 160 by 88. And he says, Sandin's program called Mod 2 is a 10-line Bally BASIC program which produces an ever-expanding series of circles in simulated 3D. I was curious to see what would happen in Mod 2 if it were run on a larger raster screen, so I programmed it for a 1350 by 1980 pixels vertically. And this is going to be shown here in a picture that he includes in this called Mod 2 Revisited. Let's keep this straight. At the resolution that Mr. Olsen is talking about, at 1350 across, that's compared to 160, that's 8.43 times the horizontal resolution, and the vertical resolution is 1980 on this monitor. That means compared to BASIC's resolution of 88 pixels high, the high-res monitor that is being used for this experiment here in this article is about 22 times the vertical resolution. Altogether, that means the complete resolution, both vertically and horizontally, is about almost 190 times the resolution of the Astrocade. This is in 1983, so this was a pretty high-res monitor at the time. I guess it must have been on some kind of professional system, because even if you bought a PC at that time period, maybe you'd have 4 times the resolution of the Astrocade. So that was really, really high resolution for the period. So you're going to get a little surprise here. This is what the program will look like when it's done running. This takes about 12 minutes to run, and this is what the final resolution and picture will look like on the Astrocade. Now compare that to the picture that the program will look like on the system that is run by Peter Olsen. It looks like this. Now check that out. Totally different, totally different. Now you wonder, where is the picture from the Astrocade? Well, the Astrocade's picture would render upside down, I think, on this. And I did a simulation of what it would look like, and it would look like this. Yes, that little red square at the bottom there is the Astrocade's portion of this screen. So you could fit about 190 of those little pictures, and that's approximate here because I didn't do this perfect, but it's pretty close. You can picture if you were to take and put them all along the bottom and then all the way to the top, multiply that together. So you'd be getting about 22 times 8 approximately, and getting your resolution here. So yes, that is a huge difference in resolution. And this was only 5 years between when the Astrocade was released in when the Astrocade was, the Bally Arcade, let's go back to that period, was released in January of 1978 to this point in September of 83. So almost 5 years difference. So I tried finding this original article, Pix-Art, by Frank Dietrich and Zsuzsanna Molnar, and I could not find it, but it does appear in this book here. I could not find this book online. I've actually been looking for this article from this book for quite a few years, and I've never found the book for sale, and I've never found any scans of it. I've tried to find it at the library through interlibrary loans, and the only libraries that seem to have it are overseas, outside of America, so I can't borrow them. I'm not sure why I can't find it in the United States. If it ever pops up, or if you have a copy of it, I would love to borrow this book and maybe make some scans out of it, and so I could have the complete article. But having said that, I have the Bob Fabris collection, and this page here is page 1 of 11, and this article is going to talk about, it is the exact article that is mentioned, minus all the proper photographs. And this is, I think, the program or the article as it was submitted to be printed. And I'm going to read a little bit from this. And it starts off pretty well to get you in the mood for understanding how this low resolution art can still be video art. Because especially even though this was written approximately 3 years earlier than the picture that was done in high res, they even knew at the time that the Astrocade's resolution was pretty low. And they say, approaching a computer graphics system like the Bally Arcade, the user should understand the basic contradiction inherent in this machine. While it offers rich options conceptually, it also produces poor graphics, at least compared to state-of-the-art computer graphics. So you shouldn't expect this small computer to generate close to real-life images with smooth shading, hidden surfaces, simulated highlighting, and the like. Instead, you will have to buy the pixels, he puts that in quotes, those blocky constituents of every raster system which most people try to hide. Once you become acquainted with the needlepoint effect of the Bally images and what they show, you can go ahead appreciating the smart design of a personal computer system, which is a major step towards a computer-literate society rather than a computer-controlled one. And it goes on to say how the Bally came into being, and then it says, an entire community of Bally users exists in Chicago who could otherwise never afford, because of finances or little computing background, to work with computer graphics. Computer art classes are being taught at both the University of Illinois and the Art Institute of Chicago using the Bally. Since you see what you are programming, a small graphics computer like this is especially educational for beginners. And this article goes on to show that they use Bally BASIC and mentions ZGrass as well. Even though I don't have the complete article of Pix-Art, the version that I have does come with a few pictures, which I'm going to take and show you here. I don't know what these pictures are. The program or the article mentions several programs. This is some of the art that was created on the Astrocade using them, and these are printouts, or technically these are scans of photocopies of printouts that were done on a screen printer. And so this is very far away from the source. So as you can imagine, it's not going to look too great, but here we go. So this is one picture. So this would be the resolution of the Astrocade, and this is approximately 160 across by 88. The next one, it looks like this, and that looks like this, and this is the final one. I wish I knew what the name of these programs are. The article talks about, I think, 9 different programs. So these are actually these are 4 screenshots from 3 different programs, but I don't know which ones, because the article has the basic program for Mod 2, which is the one that I'll be talking about and showing here. Now this is the page that has Mod 2, where it says Mod 2, it says clear, D5, for y equals 43, etc. It's about 10 lines long. And this is not set up in the format that Bally BASIC requires you to type in your program. But yesterday I typed this program in. I'm guessing no one has typed this program in about 35 years, maybe even since the program was originally published in 1981. And if that's the case, it's been about 37 years. But who knows, maybe someone's typed it in the way. Certainly no one's made a video about this program. So I typed it in and it looks like this. At the top of this page, you can see that there is the program as it is printed in the article Pix-Art, and beneath that is the program as I entered it into the Bally. And here once again is the output of this program. This takes 10 minutes and 40 seconds to run. The article actually mentions that it should take about 15 minutes to run in Bally BASIC, but I'm running this program in the enhanced version of Bally BASIC called Astrocade, which was released in 1981. It's about 20% faster than Bally BASIC, so the program, if it originally ran in 15 minutes, it should run in about, say, 12 minutes or so. So it runs a little better than 20%, or about, yeah, runs a little bit better than 20% faster. And I thought this program looked so neat that I decided to combine two programs using Photoshop. So there's a program called Rainbow for the Astrocade, and it shows 66 colors on the screen at once. Normally you only can show 8, and it uses some machine language tricks to do that. And in the middle of the screen it shows the word Bally. I'm not going to show the original image here, but I am going to show what happens when I combine them. So basically I made anything white on the screen here transparent, and I laid it on top of the Rainbow program, which is by Larry Hansen, and I get this. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if the Bally could do something like this. I'm guessing it might be able to. I'm not really sure though. It would be really neat if the colors are moving and changing. But this gives an example of, even though it's a very low resolution, even here you're looking at 102 by 88. Actually, you're looking at 160 by 102 because this is a machine language program. So below the black pattern, that's just the design. You can see there's about, you can't tell how many pixels there are, but there's about 10 additional pixels. And, or maybe even a little bit more than that, but approximately 10 pixels. And those are the color that doesn't have the pattern on top, and that is the rainbow background. I'm now going to start up the program. I'm going to start it running. You might just want to fast forward through this, but you do get to see the program being drawn, the graphics drawn, and after the program is done and complete, I will list the program and then have some credits. Enjoy this. It is video art. Really, this is all work to get to the final picture, but I think it's worth noting that looking at the pattern being drawn, you get to appreciate how the only 2 loops create this entire program. And now if this program was run on modern hardware, it would run instantaneously and you get a picture pretty much instantly. But that's not the case in 1980. So enjoy it, and next time I'll be putting some more video art programs online. Give me a week or 2. Thanks for watching.